Good morning. Come on in. Come on. Oh, Mr. Levi thinks I'm talking to him because I'm sitting down here on the floor in front of yet another fireplace. Yes, this home that I'm staying at has more than one fireplace. This one's a real one, a wood burning fireplace. Ah, boy, have we got some stuff to go over in this video. Good news, not so good news, so news, whole bunch of stuff. We do have a little bit of Temu to show you. So if you're new here, hello, I'm Connie, and you've just entered Connie's little corner. This is Mr. Levi, my boy. And those of you that are, you've been here before, you know what to do. You know the spiel. Give me 30 seconds. Let me deal with this. People, you are new. You go down below, grab my link, my code, which I'll put up here for you. AFC 95851 will get you 30% off your first order, a $100 coupon bundle for future use, and a few little freebies too. Now, see how quick I did that? For those of you that are new, I just want to do a little PSA here for you. Temu just celebrated 2 years since they came into being. They are a major clearinghouse, just like Amazon. Amazon doesn't really sell any products, right? What they are is a clearinghouse, and they have all these different vendors and all these sellers that put their products up on their site and sell them to you. That's exactly what Temu does. But Temu does it for a lot less, and you don't have to pay for Prime to get free shipping. So most orders you can get free shipping on. Sometimes you might have to have a minimum order of maybe $10 or $20, depending on what country you live in or where you're located. But hands down, trust me, I've been an Amazon shopper since Amazon existed. I've been a Temu shopper and a Temu affiliate slash influencer since almost day one, since like within 3 months after they first started. I can compare the two, and hands down, Temu comes to the top with product selection, product prices, free shipping, price adjustments, and everything else that they offer. All right. I'm going to tell it to you like it is. I do very honest reviews. If I don't like something, you're going to know about it. If I do like something, you're going to know about that too. So let's get started with these little bitty order that I have here, and then we'll get into all the news that I have to share. I got a couple little packages. I have 3 more orders coming. For some odd reason, Temu broke them up into separate orders, but we'll do this one. All right. I didn't put any prices on these things, but the links and the prices will all be down below. And yes, I'm sitting offside on purpose in case I need to put anything up, any images, I'll put them up over here. And I thought you might enjoy just looking at that cute little fireplace. So this is an incense holder. Now, you saw my little incense burner that I got a couple of videos ago that has the little teapot and the cup and the hands holding it. Well, this is an incense holder. This goes down into the little hole, all right, which I've been told by a few people contacted me and said for the backflow burners, this is the best way to get a really good backflow going, because you sit the cone on here, it centers it with over the hole, and it forces basically the smoke to go down in a particular direction. So there's your, let me get it nice and close so you can see. This is metal, it's not plastic. It feels kind of like brass. And it comes in a set of 3. There's 2 more in this bag. It comes in a set of 3. So I'm going to give it a try, and I'm going to see how it works, because you did see that I had, well, I don't want to say difficulty getting it to come down, but it took a while to position the cone onto that particular spot to get it to come down. So we'll see how that works. All right, next item. I'm going to have to use my teeth because I forgot. Hey, no judgment zone, right? I'm almost 69 years old. I still have all my own natural teeth and not a single cavity, and I never wore braces. So my teeth are good and strong, just like me. All right, this is vanilla incense. Vanilla. And these are incense cones, but these are not backflow cones. Now, on that incense burner that I got, you can put a regular cone. You don't just have to use it for, oh, a bag in a bag. You don't just have to use it for backflow. So, oh my word. These smell just like vanilla sticks. If you know what I mean, talk about vanilla sticks. This is a good sized cone. This is about 1.5 inches. Look at that. That's a good sized cone. In comparison to the top of my finger, you can see how big it is. All right, it's about 1.5 inches. It should fit on one of these holders. My plan is hopefully to be able to put a cone holder, basically permanent, so to speak, that it sits there all the time inside the incense burner. And there we go. So it'll hold that too. It's a perfect size for cones. It's the perfect size for the backflow burners. So these are vanilla. And there is quite a few of them in here. Let's see if it tells me how many is in here. 15 pieces. 15 pieces. So check out the price below. All right. 15 pieces in that bag. Check out the price below in the description box. Now that you know, what is the name of these things? Mahendras. Mahendras. And they have dozens of different scents, but I wanted something basic. I didn't want anything that was going to be overwhelming. Keep in mind, I'm going into a tiny home, something that's under 400 square feet. So depending on the home that you live in, cut it in half. And that's about the space I'm going to be in. So I don't need anything super strong. This should be perfect. All right. Let's see what else we got here. I know I'm not dawdling today, am I? No, I'm going pretty quick. How you guys been? How was your Christmas? Did you all have a good Christmas? You did? I'm hoping you did. That you all had, you found a silver lining somewhere in your Christmas day. Whether it was, in my case, I got to talk to mom and we sang a brief little Christmas carol together over the phone and we kind of gave each other virtual hugs. And no, I didn't get to see her face to face because it was Christmas Day and I was not going to inconvenience any of my friends from their Christmas events just so that they would do a video call with me and mom. Mom and I were okay with just having a verbal call, but it was wonderful. We always have that mother-daughter connection. That's never going to stop. And if you have a connection, anything like you've seen with mom and I, then you know what I'm talking about, right? Okay. So I got a set of 4 watch bands. All the watch bands I had gotten for this were all in, most of them really bright, vibrant colors, with the exception of this one. So I got this set of 4 and they're all different colors. So we've got a black one and they're pretty basic. If you look, you see the pattern on them. It doesn't really have much of a design to it. Can you see? Just a little like a floral vine type thing going on there. There we go, 3-dimensional. See, if I turn it this way, oh, there you go. Now you can see it much better. So it's got that design to it. So this one is in black. And then, let me see if I get the colors right here. This one is in a darker gray, and they're all the same pattern, but you can see the nice little floral 3-dimensional pattern on there. This one is in gray. And I like that it has, even the buckle itself is gray, but it has the little silver tongue that goes through and locks on. This one is in a real pale lavender. Really pretty. I like that. And this one is in like a wine color or a burgundy color. So 4 bands, and they had, these are a little bit more, as I said, more subdued, more general colors, so to speak. They had these sets of 4 in multiple options. You can get them with bright colors. You can get them with a whole bunch of different combinations, but I wanted the basics because all those watch bands I had been getting last year or earlier this year, I don't even remember when I got them. It's been so long. They were all red, orange, yellow, bright green, patterns, flowers, boho. Needed basics, right? Basics are always good. Talk to me, leave me a comment about how you feel about decor on the watch bands. I've seen a lot of people with like little charms and thing on the watch bands. I have been hesitant to get that. I did get one. It's a little dog paw, but I haven't worn it yet. And I've been a little hesitant to because I'm a little concerned about, is it going to get in the way of anything? Is it going to catch on anything? Is the metal that's going underneath, is it going to bother my wrist where it touches underneath? I have metal allergies, so I have to be very, very careful about what I get metal wise. So let me know your experience if you have any with those things, those add-ons for the watch bands. And if you think that it's not problematic, then I'll order some and I'll review them and figure out if they work or how they're going to work for me, right? All I can do, right? I like when I hear from you guys and you give me your input on something and then I try it so that I can let everybody else out there know. Your opinion doesn't sway my opinion, but it does help me to select products to review and be able to give my opinion on them. All right, next item. Hold on a second. I need more coffee. I got my flash mug here. Look, flash. Mm, so good. Okay, this one is Practical Witches Spell Deck. 100 spells for love, happiness, and success. Now, these are not hexes, these are not curses. I do have a separate book for that, by the way. We're not gonna go there, okay? But I do have a separate book for the not so nice spells. But this is the good spell book. I saw these, and one of you guys said, hey, look, because you know I'm very spiritual, you know that I'm clairvoyant and clair sentient and clair everything, that you thought these would be interesting, that I would find these interesting. So this is a massive deck. I don't even know how many cards are in this deck. Does it say? 100. Okay, so 100 cards. I didn't know if they were doubled up or not, but there's 100 different cards here. So I'm just going to grab one card to give us an idea. And this one says Air Augury Conjuration. Okay, so when the new moon is in an air sign like Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra, you light certain incenses and you light a white candle and a blue candle. And what happens is it says, this spell should give you sharpness and clarity of mind. Oh, hello. Who at my age doesn't need that one? I think I'm going to keep this card out handy. Listen to your intuition now. It will not fail you. Write down your insights in your book of shadows. So, last video, I showed you that little red notebook. And I told you in a future video, I'd let you know what it's for. That's my book of shadows. That's where when I read a card and when I do a spell for myself, all right, especially this one, Clarity of Mind, it's going right on the top of the deck, that I write down what spell I did, when I did it, what my intuition told me. It's basically a journal of these positive moon spells. All right, so yeah, let's grab another one and see what it says. Or just pick one out of the middle of the deck. I'm not going to go through all 100 cards, obviously. All right, this one says Lunar Libation. Okay, let's find out what that means. For an ambrosial brew with the power to calm any storm, in other words, anger management, guys, add a sliver of ginger root and a pinch each of chamomile and peppermint to a cup of hot black tea. Before you drink it, you say the prayer. So the prayer says, this day I pray for calm, for health, and the wisdom to see the beauty of each waking moment. blessings abound, so mote it be. So if you're having anger issues, I feel like I'm drawing tarot cards because both of these two cards just totally apply to me at the moment. Clarity of thought and anger issues. I need them both. You know, I'm about as honest as they come, guys, right? You know that that's what you're going to get from me all the time. All right. So you can imagine what is in here. Um, I think it personally, I think it's worth it because anything that takes your focus and puts it on something of a positive spin is a positive thing. You get what you put out there. If you put negativity out into the universe, you're going to get negativity back. If you put positive vibes out there, you're going to get positive vibes. And I'll give you an example. When I put my Arizona house on the market, I have a wonderful agent who is not just an agent, but he's my friend. We've been friends for 6 years, almost 7 years, even before I left New York. And he handled me finding that house, and then he also handled selling that house for me. But when we put the house on the market, he was all about details and analytics of what the market was doing and the pricing and this and that. And I had to tell him, look, dude, stop. Because I was getting a very negative vibe from all the information. Joe, you know I love you. All right. And I did tell you this, so I'm sharing it with everybody else. It's like, let it go. What happens will happen. I was not in a rush to sell the house. It didn't matter to me if it took 6 days, 6 months, a year, whatever, to sell the house. If it didn't sell in a certain time, I was going to just take it off the market and put it back on when the market was better. So I basically told him nothing but good vibes. Stop with the analytics, stop with the negatives, stop with the concerns. Just let it go, put it out there. All right. Soon as he did that and got on board with me, the house sold from within 3 weeks of the date we listed it. 3 weeks. All right. You want positive things to happen, guys. Just open yourself up. Find that silver lining. If you don't know how to do that, you send me an email. Here's my email address. I'll put it up here. Connie's Little Corner at gmail.com. You send me an email, and I am more than happy to work with you and teach you how to generate positive vibes. If you want a reading, if you want me to do a personal reading, I don't really need to know anything about you other than your first name, and we'll talk either a FaceTime or we'll talk on the phone, and I will give you what I see for you and what I see that might be holding you back. So you can have success. I mean, look what's been falling in place for me. You know, when I was getting ready to leave Arizona, and I'm sorry to interrupt the Temu haul with this, but I got to get this out before I forget. When I was getting ready to leave Arizona, I originally had a different location to stay at here in the Alabama area, and that fell through with a min. And you know what? And I let it go. I put the positive energy out there, said, that's okay. I will find what's meant to be. Within hours, my friend Sherry contacted me and said, hey, you and Levi can come and stay in this beautiful house. You'll have it all to yourselves for probably most of the 2 months or 3 months that I'm going to be here waiting for my tiny home. That door just opened with an amazing amount of positive white light that came through it. And look where I am. Look what's happened. All right. And you're going to hear more good things that fell into place later on in the video. Let's get back to the order. Public service announcement done. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying very, very hard to stay positive today because I've had a very negative experience that started last night, but we'll talk about that later. One thing at a time. Okay, this is more incense. Now, these are incense sticks. In the incense burner that I got, it has the hole in the top for the backflow to go down. Well, that hole in the top has a depth of about 1.5 inches, which is a lot more holding space than what a stick burner would have. A stick burner usually only has about 1/4 of an inch, a little hole that you balance the stick in, right? If you've ever had these when you were younger or if you have them now. So this is cinnamon. These are cinnamon sticks. Can you imagine a cinnamon stick and a vanilla cone burning at the same time? Because I can take the vanilla cone and in my holder that I got, and I'll put another picture of it up here for you. Down in the part where the cup is, I can set the cone and let that burn. And then up on top where the pot pours, I can put the stick and have them both burning at the same time. And I don't know if any of you guys ever thought about doing double burns at the same time. Okay, let me get these out. This is nicely packed, by the way. This is cardboard tube to keep it from crushing, which is really good. I was wondering why it was so solid. And here are the sticks. These again are cinnamon. And these, can you see? The stick part is only that big, and all the rest is incense. Oh, yeah. Oh, this smells like cinnamon toast, like French toast. Have you ever sprinkled cinnamon on your toast in the morning? If not, you're really missing out. But you sprinkle just a very little light bit of cinnamon. Or if you put cinnamon in applesauce, that's what this smells like. So there's the cinnamon stick. And you can see the base on the bottom is not long. It's barely an inch. Isn't that great? I love that. So I could still put this in the incense burner, put the stick in the center, and have it supported that way. Or I can just leave this out and put the stick in there to begin with. These are so light, you can stick them in a wad of silly putty or what are the kids, Play-Doh, so to speak. You can turn anything into a stick burner. You can use a diffuser bottle. All right, just don't put any fluids in it. You can use a diffuser bottle, stick several of these in the diffuser bottle, just light one of them at a time and let them burn. But yeah, these are really good. The scent is nice. It's not overpowering. I will say I won't say it's mild. I'll say it's moderate. I can tell that it's cinnamon, but it's not overpowering. That's what I like. I really don't like the ones that are so super strong that you wish you didn't like them, or you can only like them and you have to shut them off after a little bit because they have gotten too strong, too overwhelming. So that's pretty good. What's this one? This one is, I have no clue. These are more cones. I'm trying to find out what's, hold on. What the scent is. Oh, okay. So this is apple cinnamon. Another good combination. I'm hoping that when I light these cones, that they smell like an apple pie. There's the bag of cones. There are, what? You know, they just don't give you enough information to make it easy. 10 pieces. 10 pieces in here. Yes, I'm nearsighted, so if something's too close, I have to get my glasses out of the way. No, I don't wear bifocals. I've tried them. They gave me nothing but blurred vision and headaches. Not everybody can wear bifocals, so I just do the librarian thing. Oh boy, we're in trouble. Okay, so this, again, it's a very mild scent. I pick up the apple. The cinnamon is really subdued. It smells more like, you know how in apple picking season you can get the donuts, the apple donuts? That's what this smells like. Oh, that's a good smell. That's a really good smell. It smells like an apple cider donut. Excuse me, I'm going to sniff. Oh, that's good. Okay. Again, 10 pieces, good sized cones, excellent smell, not too overpowering. I do like that these things come in the little sealed packages and things that they're wrapped up and kind of like protected. All right, next. I think that's it for the smelly stuff. Next item. I don't even remember what the stuff is. I'm just so excited to be able to getting orders again after not gotten any while I was traveling. Um, this is a bath wrap. I just got a basic ivory color. This is really, really soft. I don't know if you can see the material. It's really, really soft material. Feels very cottony. It's not that microfiber stuff because I made sure I stayed away from the microfiber. This has Velcro closing, really strong Velcro closing, and elastic in the back. And it has multiple Velcros. So the one that I had only had the Velcro on the top. This also has the Velcro in the center to keep it from flopping open while you're walking around, right? Adjusting, trying to keep yourself covered if you're walking down the hallway or coming out of the pool. It has good elastic in the back, really nice expansion of elastic. It's just very, very basic. But that's what I like about it, that it is very basic. It's got a nice little scalloped edge on the bottom. I don't know if you can see the scalloping on the bottom. Nice little scallop. And the scalloping on the hemline, hold on. I don't know if you can see it or not. It actually has like an open weave to it. Can you see that? Can you see the little, almost like a little lacy pattern in it where it has like the little holes? I think that's very cool. It's just a tiny little touch. But this is a really nice bath wrap. They do have it in a lot of different colors. I just got the basic white one. Once I start using this, if I find that I really like it, then I might get a second one because it's always good to have one when everything else is in the wash, right? Okay. I got to adjust. I got a foot falling asleep. All right. So now we got a bunch of stuff coming out. These are very different. Hold on. I really need the coffee today. I did not sleep last night. You'll find out what was going on. Okay. Suncatchers. I got a few suncatchers. Now, I've got some of them to go outside and hang on the porch, the front porch, because my new tiny home is going to have a screened in front porch. And it's a decent sized porch. It's like 9 feet deep and 13 feet across. And I wanted to have things that I could have outside, but that I didn't have to worry about them getting broken. So I got some acrylic sun catchers. Comes with a chain. I'm going to keep each of these in their own bag because until I'm ready to move, they're going to go into storage. I saw this and I said, I have to have this. This is 8-inch wide by 8-inch high. Look at, I have to pull it back so you can see the whole thing. Look at this bird. This is a hummingbird done almost in a mechanical fashion. They call, what do they call that? Steampunk? But the colors with the teals and the browns and the reds. Let me turn it this way. You can see the colors a little bit better. I'm going to get it close for you. Look at that. This is a sun catcher. Now, I don't really think it is going to glow much. I don't know until I put it in the sun, but I do love the colors on this. I love the detail in here. Look at the details in the feathers. Feathers inside of feathers. Can you see those? All the little minute details. So this is where you hang it. So it hangs this way, like this. This is really solid. Doesn't have a lot of flex to it. It hasn't been cut close. In other words, the plexi's out here. If the plexi was cut in further, then this beak would be very hazardous. It wouldn't hang properly. But I saw this and I'm like, this is very unique. And I love the things that are kind of different and out there. happy, right? Okay, that's the first Suncatcher. One. One. All right, let's see what else is coming. Number two, I think. I don't know how many of these I got. I forgot how many I got. Well, I got a few. I spent probably 2 days just going through different sun catchers for looking. This one also has the chains down here in the bag. I'm not going to take it out, so I don't want to lose it. Look at this. I saw this and the shape of this and whatnot. I don't know. Right off the bat, I just thought of Willy Wonka. I don't know why, but it's just a funky little hat. It's a real funky little hat. I love all the bright colors on it. And I can see as I'm looking through it, I can see exactly how it's going to catch the sun. I can see the light shining through there. It looks very, very cool. So I got this funky little hat. And again, this is a little bigger. This is about 11 inches across here by about 8 inches high. So these are not small, but I think the majority of these were all under $5 a piece. They weren't, they weren't expensive. And I like, again, that they're acrylic. As much as I love the real heavy glass sun catchers, when you're in a place that's windy, like it is here in Alabama and a lot of the states that I'm looking at for home spaces, acrylic is good because the acrylic not going to shatter, right? It might crack or it might snap off in a piece, but it's not going to shatter. And that's important because I think about my feet, because I'm a barefoot person. Think about the little man's feet over here. Oh, okay, more. What do you think? These are weird. Where do you see? You think that's weird? Where do you see this one? Okay, now this one comes with a yellow rope for hanging it, and you'll understand why as soon as you see it. And this is a helicopter. Now, this holds some significance for me today, and you'll find out in a little bit why a helicopter holds some level of importance to me today. But I love that it's a big bug-eyed helicopter, and the top actually looks like wings. And the tail feathers are shaped like a helicopter, but they're feathers. This is just, no pun intended, cute as a bug. They have other really weird looking helicopters, but I like this one. I thought he was kind of comical. So yeah, I'm going to have a flying helicopter suncatcher. And this one's going to get a special name. You'll find out why in a little bit. Is the suspense killing you? Do you hate it when I keep you in suspense of things? See, today's a very bittersweet day for me because of everything that's been going on this week. All I can say is TGIS. Thank God it's stopped. Or thank God it's Sunday. I don't know. Thank God it's something. TGIS. All right. And the last Suncatcher I got. Now I saw this, I absolutely had to have it. Look at this. It's a camera. This thing is like 10 inches by 8 inches. This is a camera, and from back here, I can see the light shining through it, and I can see exactly how cool it is going to look. But look at that. Look at the designs on that. This is the camera. It's a good size. They do have this in other colors, but again, most of my colors are, I'm still maintaining the teal and the red in the main living space, but I'm not, obviously not doing a Southwestern type of pattern. But look what I'm wearing. I mean, come on. Teals, earth tones. Very, very cool. This one does have a chain. Chain's down in the bag, down in here in the bag. Hangs from up here. I thought that was really cool. So I am loving these and I am on the search for more. However, I got 4 because there are 2 sections in the front of my screen porch and there's 3 sections down one side and 3 sections down the other side. So I'm not sure yet if I'm going to hang all of them outside, if I'm going to hang some of them in my living room area. I have 2 big double windows. So in my living room area, I may hang, hi, some of them. Would you love the mommies? Sorry for the interruption, but who's going to refuse kisses from such a love bug? Huh, Mr. Levi? You're just so happy today. Mr. Levi was not happy yesterday. Mr. Levi had some sort of a stomach bug. And let's just say both ways were very explosive. But mommy was on the ball. And fortunately, the door to outside is like right here. And we went, regardless of the rain and the storm, we were in and out and in and out and in and out as often as he needed to be. You're so good. Yes, you are. You're such a good boy. Oh, I love you. All right. One more thing, and then we'll talk about what's been going on just around the corner. Okay. This came in a box. And this is something that I will share with my friend Sherry. That's the lady that owns the house that I'm in. I'll be sharing this with her. Hold on. Let me get all this stuff organized here. Get my trash in that box. All right. So I'm a girl that can never have too many tools. And obviously going into a tiny home, into a brand new house, a 2025 model. All right. The one and only first owner of this house is going to be me. There's going to be a lot of things that I have to do. I have to build stairs. I have to build a deck, a back deck. And because it does come with a front porch, but I have to build a back deck. I have some finishing work that I'll be doing around the house. I'm not having the builders do everything for me because I like to do some things myself. So in keeping with that, I bought what they call an eccentric sander, but it's just an orbital sander, which means it's a round sanding disc for woodworking. I'm going to need this. I wished I would have had this in Arizona. And here's the funny part. I didn't know this when I ordered it, but it's red. Right. That's funny. Come on. Those of you that have been here before, you know why it's funny that it happens to be red, right? For those of you that are new, red is my favorite color. My car is red and black. My kitchen in Arizona was red. Yeah. So nice. And this has some serious weight to it. Here's your sanding pad down on the bottom. This is where you will hook up your dust bag to catch. It's got a little vent hole down here that the dust comes out of. It sucks the dust up in here. This is your sanding disc on the bottom here. Your on-off switch is on the side of this. This is nice. And you also have light. There's an on-off switch here. See right there? On-off. So that you actually have a little bit of light for it. Let me get into the pieces. It comes with your user manual in English. Temu has gotten so much better over the past year of making sure that every product they ship out has English instructions. In some of my earlier videos, you may have seen that they didn't have English. What is this? Oh, okay. So this is the on-off switch. I'm corrected. It's not the light. This is not the on-off switch. This is your speed switch. Okay, it goes from 1 all the way up to 6. I'm holding it upside down. Okay, 1 to 6. So that's your speed switch. This is your power switch. It's nothing like the orbital sander that I used to have. I had one back in New York years ago. This is the cage that holds your dust bag. And it's very simple. This dust bag is on elastic. The dust bag simply goes over the top of the cage. Slide it down. Make sure it comes all the way down over the bottom lip. Like dressing a Barbie doll. Remember having to dress Barbie dolls? Where the clothes were so tight you could barely get them on. You had to pull and pull and pull and pull. I don't know why, but that's what this just reminded me of. This just reminded me of dressing a Barbie doll. Okay, so there's your little dust bag. This is the part that screws in to the back of here. And it just goes, there's two little knobs on it. Can you see those little knobs? There's two little knobs that lock into the two little slots in here. So there's no way that you're going to get it in or get it out if you don't have those slots lined up. There you go. That's your little dust catcher. I think that's the coolest thing. I just can't get over how heavy that is. And then it comes with sanding discs. These are your sanding discs. It has, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 5. It has 5 sanding discs. Your sanding disc very simply, you line up the holes on the bottom with the holes on here, because that way the dust gets sucked up. They stay attached by friction. Think of it like Velcro. They stay attached by friction so that when you plug it in, you spin it, and then you have to peel them off. So they stick really, really good. With an orbital sander, you don't ever put a lot of pressure. You let the sander do the work. So you don't have to. So you're not sitting there going, hand sanding. You're just holding the machine lightly against the wood and letting it do this. If you've ever used an orbital sander before, no, you will not get circles on your wood as long as you maintain a certain pattern to work with. So I'm thrilled to have this. Sherry is doing a lot of work on some of her other properties, so I know she's going to be thrilled that we actually have this to share so that she can work on her properties and I can work on my property. It's exciting, isn't it? Everything is just getting so exciting because it's all happening. So this is 5-inch pad size, 50 to 60 hertz. That's the frequency. No load speed is 5,000 to 12,000 MIN. So this has everything that you need. It's sufficient for, if you're a major woodworker, it probably wouldn't work for you. But for light woodwork, if you're finishing furniture and you want to lightly, maybe the top of something got ruined, you just want to lightly sand it down and refinish it, perfect. You're building a deck out of pressure treated wood and not that plasticky stuff, all right? This is perfect to make sure your handrails and whatnot don't have splinters. It's great for doing a light sanding. You can get different levels of sanding discs. It's just a standard 5-inch disc. So you can get discs, sanding discs that are a heavier grit or a lighter grit. These are medium grit discs. Yeah, kind of happy with that. It's the model TD 125. Eat your heart out, Vanna White. Okay. All right. Enough nonsense, right? Okay. So now let's catch up on just around the corner. What's been going on? I don't know where to start, but I'm going to start with news I'm sure that you're going to want to hear. And I have to share this and I have to get it out because I have to get the negativity related to it out of me and put the positive spin out there. Last night around 8 p.m. Central Time. Well, no, excuse me, 8 p.m. Arizona time, 9 p.m. Central Time. I received a communication to say that my mama, had been brought to the emergency room by ambulance. Okay. Never heard from her son. Never heard a word about her going to the hospital. Still have not heard a word. And it's been more than 15 hours since. So I reached out to all my contacts and everybody that I know and the hospital themselves and whatnot. And I was told that she was brought in with a stroke. Now, mom's already had 2 strokes. This would be her 3rd one. But she was brought in because she was symptomatic for having a stroke. Okay. Was up most of the night, waiting to hear news, waiting to get a call. Nobody called me. So first thing this morning, I said, you know what? I'm going to start from square one. I called the assisted living home where she lives. I asked to speak to her. I was told she wasn't there. And I said, is she still in the hospital? And I named the hospital. And they said, yes, but she may have been transferred to a different hospital by now. And then I asked, because I wanted confirmation, why was she sent to the hospital in the first place? And I was told, and I quote, because she was having a stroke. So I got the information from the person who called for the ambulance, who happened to be there when all this was occurring. And all I said was, okay, thank you. And I hung up. Didn't need anything more than that. That was just the confirmation that I needed. So then I called back to the hospital where I knew she had been brought in through the ER. And I was told she had been discharged. And the case manager and me said, okay, was she, and I asked, was she discharged alive or deceased? They told me she was transported by helicopter. Now, stop and think about this. Not by ambulance, because it was only like a 40-mile drive, but by helicopter. Helicopter transport means urgency. All right. So I have to take a breath here, guys. I'm trying to keep my emotions under control. Okay, so I was told where she was flown to. I was given the phone number for there, given her room number for there. She's in ICU room, basically, but she's in neurological ICU because of being a stroke patient and having had 2 prior strokes. So the person that I talked to at the first hospital was a very sweet lady, and she transferred me by phone, so I didn't have to dial out or go through the whole big system. And she connected me directly to the nurse's station at the floor where mom was. So I identified myself, gave the young lady that answered the phone my name, and asked for patient status. She put me on hold. The next thing I know, a nurse comes on the line. I identified myself again. She says, oh, okay. She says, well, her son and the doctors and whatnot, we're all standing out here having a conversation as to the next course of action. And I asked her, was she given TPA? And TPA, for those of you who don't know, it is a clot busting medication that when someone has a stroke, if there's evidence of a clot that caused the stroke, or the stroke doesn't resolve itself, the symptoms don't resolve themselves on their own, they give TPA. It's the clot buster, basically. And the nurse told me no, that she was not given TPA because while she was in the air ambulance, so to speak, the helicopter, ergo my comment on the helicopter Suncatcher, while she was in the helicopter, the symptoms of her stroke resolved. They all went away. She was not having a single symptom as if she had had a stroke at all. Now, in my experience, that tells me that it was a warning that mom had a mini stroke. Many people have mini strokes and don't even know that they're happening. So mom was not on any unusual medication. This nurse was very forthcoming. Mom was not getting any course of treatment at that time other than her normal daily medications that she would get. She was strictly being monitored. The previous hospital had run a few tests and whatnot. Not all the results were back, but I was told by this nurse that the stroke symptoms resolve themselves, and I'll put this in layman's terms, without any side effects. In other words, there was no evidence that it had ever occurred. I'm not going to use the medical terms for you. I'll just keep it simple. But so mom now is in a different hospital in the Phoenix area, and she's being monitored. They don't know if she's going to be discharged today or not. The nurse told me that they may move her out of ICU to a different room and hold her for additional observation, primarily because of her past experience and because of her having had strokes in the past. And you heard Mom and I talk about that during our Sunday with Mama videos. So now it's been more than 14 hours from the time I'm making this video to the time that she was initially transported to the first hospital. I still have not received any communication whatsoever from any of her caregivers or any of the people that are supposed to be taking care of her. Everything that I found out on my own. It's a good thing that I have the background that I do in case management, because I know who to contact, where to get information, what information I can, what information is public and accessible to me as her daughter, and for someone who was not actively involved anymore in her direct care. But this, I have to tell you guys, this raises a red flag to me, because she has had more medical issues in the past year, more falls, more pain, more suffering, more medical issues in the past year since others, well, I should say the past 2 years, since others took over her care and it was taken out of my hands than she had when I was taking care of her. So I'm very concerned. I'm not able to speak with her yet. I don't know how long it'll be before I can speak with her, but I will keep you informed. If it's as soon as I know, I'll put up a community post to let you know how she's doing, to whether or not I have spoken with her or not. And because I know you all love her and care about her and that you miss her. I can imagine what you're going through, but please keep in mind, imagine what it means for me as her daughter, as to what I'm going through, not knowing, not being kept informed, not being there, or being able to be there, even virtually being able to be there, because there's no communication coming from that side, nothing coming from that side. And I can't really do much about it at this point. And it's Sunday, so again, I can't even reach out to the people that I need to correct this problem and make sure it doesn't happen again. So everything's on hold. Let go of the negative, think of the positive, and I'm going to find the silver lining in this, that coming from a medical point of view and hearing from medical staff and someone who spoke to me in very clear and understandable medical terms with medical information that I could understand, I know that Mom is okay. Why this happened or what's going to be done in the future, I still don't know. But I know that, if I'm being told by medical personnel that she's okay, that everything resolved itself, that she's just being monitored, then I have to go by that. And that's my silver lining. So I want that to be your silver lining. You've all seen Mama, you know how tough she is. And I cannot even imagine that something like this would keep her down. But it does concern me that they thought it was serious enough that they airlifted her to another hospital as opposed to doing an ambulance transport. So there's something I'm not being told. I will find out eventually, because I do have legal ways and accessible ways to get that information. And I will get that information if it's not voluntarily provided to me. So I'll keep you posted. All right. Now, everything else that's going on around the corner. Everybody take a breath. We got past that. Everything else that's going on around the corner. Last night, about, I don't know, 12:30, somewhere around there, sirens everywhere. Sirens started blaring around me. and I get a notification on my cell phone that there's a tornado watch for Montgomery County, which is where I'm at, and a few other. And then I get a text from Sherry saying, hey, there's a tornado watch and it's headed towards you. I'm like, okay, I'm not a panicky person. It's like, okay. So I'm waiting. I hear the thunder and I see the lightning out the window and I can hear the rain beating on the house. And you can hear the wind, but it's not excessive, not to me, not excessive. Having come from upstate New York where the thunderstorms can be pretty terrifying, um, it wasn't excessive. I went outside, I stood on the back porch and I looked outside. I'm like, okay, this is just a thunderstorm with some winds. No big deal. Sirens got louder right around 1 o'clock. All of a sudden, the thunder, this storm was moving fast. It was directly overhead and it was shaking the windows. Have you ever experienced thunder that's so strong that it shakes the windows? So it was shaking the windows. It was pounding on the roof. It was just really doing that fist, it's just humming through like a freight train, but the winds never got any worse. And the lightning never got any worse. It just got louder as it came across the house. And in a matter of like 6 or 7 minutes, it went on its merry way. And then around 1:15, the sirens just stopped. They completely stopped. So I contacted Sherry and I said, well, I sent her a text. I said, it's raining, it's thunder, it's lightning, it's pouring rain. It's windy out, but nothing excessive. And I let her know I would go out and walk around the property and check for damages this morning. Okay. So I went out. There was one umbrella toppled over, just one. And there were a couple of umbrellas out there and a whole bunch of other things, chairs and things that could have gone flying. Nope. Just one umbrella knocked over, and one of the Christmas decorations out in the front lawn had fallen over. That's it. That was it. So I'm thinking to myself, why would these sirens be going off for just a thunderstorm? Someone was a little panicky, all right? And no, it's not that I'm not panicky, but if there's not enough wind, if there's not enough storm to do anything other than knock over a patio umbrella, then what's with the sirens? Okay, maybe that's just me. Maybe I don't get it. All right. I know tornadoes hit Alabama. I am not in Tornado Alley, nor is my tiny home where it's being built. It's not in Tornado Alley either because I did all that weather research. Yeah, I just don't get it. So I didn't get a lot of sleep last night between the mom thing, not knowing, not getting a call, not hearing anything was going on, and then hearing these sirens. The storm was putting me to sleep. I love the sound of a thunderstorm. And well, I'm a Pisces, anything to do with water. I absolutely love that. So that once the storm had passed and I let Sherry know, I said, I just rolled over and went to sleep and I could still hear the storm and it was wonderful to hear it. And I love the rain. So I went out and I did walk the property this morning. And as I said, there was only those two things. The ground was not even waterlogged because I went out there barefoot with Levi and it wasn't even squishy. So this storm blew through really, really quick. But at least now I know what to expect. If there's sirens going off, that means somebody's freaking out thinking that there could be a tornado and they're giving everybody a heads up. Okay, that's great because some people are very panicky that way. Me, this storm was mild compared to some of the thunderstorms that we would get in upstate New York. And it was really mild compared to some of the windstorms that we got in Arizona that picked up my iron lawn chairs and threw them up onto my roof. There's iron things out here that didn't even move. So, yeah. Storm tracker. No. Okay. Y'all want news on the tiny house, right? Well, it's the holidays. All right. So the construction has not been started. We're still in the organizing phase of what's going in it and where the doors are being placed and this and that. So the design is still coming together and it's coming together beautifully. Ryan is the gentleman that is coordinating all of this for me. and he is a blessing. All right. It doesn't matter what time of day. I can send him a text with a quick question and he'll get back to me within 10 or 15 minutes. I can send him an email and he'll get back to me the same day. So the communication skills of this company are outstanding. And that's another reason why I picked them. So in getting ready, knowing that my tiny home most likely will be ready by mid-March, somewhere around my birthday, all right, which is good. Um, I, as you know, have been doing places. So I did some virtual tours of 3 or 4 places in Tennessee. Didn't like them. All right. And I'll tell you why I didn't like them, because of the way they were being handled. Um, some lots were reserved. You had to buy a tiny home from a certain builder in order to put your home on this beautiful piece of property. But you also had to have what they called key money, like $15,000, not going towards your tiny home, just for the right to put your house on this property. 15 grand, which you'll never see again, right? And then you pay your lot rental of $200 to $300 a month for the rest of your life there, the rest of your occupancy. But you still have separate bills for water, electric, etc. So the fact that you were restricted and had to buy a home from this particular company, and you had to put up key money, and the homes were almost double what I'm paying for mine, and they're all cookie cutter homes, and you can't customize them, and the list goes on. No. So I looked at several other places in Tennessee virtually. A lot of drone footage and things that I went through, lots of communication, virtual walkthroughs. So I didn't have to make those trips. And I think it was wonderful that I didn't have to do all that driving. I checked out a couple places in Georgia, which I really liked, but the cost of living was a little higher than what I was comfortable with. I checked out Mississippi. I checked out parts of Arkansas. I did virtual tours in South Carolina, and 2 places in Texas. One place in Texas I was almost ready to commit to, but then I did a little further research on the cost of living, and the cost of living was double what it was in Arizona. And Arizona was high as it was. And the lot rental was almost $800 a month. That wasn't going to do me any good, because I could see within 5 or 10 years, it would price me out to a point that I wouldn't be able to live comfortably anymore. And that would defeat the purpose of having a tiny home and downsizing not only my living space, but my budget to make it easy. So it came down to several places in Alabama, and all in South Central Alabama, not way down on the Gulf Course, Gulf Coast, Golf Course. I don't know where that came from. The Gulf Coast is beautiful. It's about a 4 hour, about a 4 hour drive from where I am now. But I don't want to be down there because of the weather, because of the storms, because of the devastation that happens down there on a regular basis. No, thank you. I don't need to be developing any type of anxiety about my home being floated away or blown away or whatever by going to certain areas down there. So, no. Vacationing down there? Absolutely. Going down for a weekend? Absolutely. I would do that in the summertime, but not to live there full time. I wouldn't want to be there during certain storm seasons, if you know what I mean. So I've been looking at East Central, South Central, West Central, no further north than Montgomery. Well, I can't say no further north than Montgomery. Little town of Millbrook, Wetumpka, Prattville are all like bordering right on the edge of northern Montgomery. Beautiful little places, but again, I wasn't finding anything that I liked. And I wasn't finding any kind of comfort level with the people who ran those places. So when I did go to see them, it was like, no. I went a little south. I went to a little town called Brundage, which is just south of Troy, Alabama, about an hour south of Montgomery. Again, did a drive through, did not like what I was seeing. It was a nice enough spot, but it was not for me. It wasn't what I saw myself in, what I needed to see myself in, as my permanent home. You know, when you have a tiny home and you move it to a site, it's can be moved maybe once more, but you can't move it frequently. It's not like an RV or a fifth wheel that you could just hook it up and go. So it's a big job and a big expense. Every time you move a tiny home, you're talking about 5 grand at least, just to hook it up and pull it out of there. So yeah. So I found 2 lots, and they happen to both be at the same place, and they happen to be both be right next to each other. One of the lots had a little bit of a slope to it, and it was on the back edge where the grade dropped off. And I didn't like that idea. I didn't like the idea of the runoff. I didn't like the idea of the instability on that particular side. That would be that side of the house. I didn't like the direction the house would have had to face in. There was a major root system. There's beautiful balsam trees, really old balsam trees. And see, to me, that's a good sign. When you see these 100-foot balsam trees standing strong, that tells me, okay, obviously in 100 years, there hasn't been any kind of weather to disrupt these trees. They were healthy and they were strong. And I looked at, the bark on the trees, and I checked out everything about them. I looked at the more gentler plants, the smaller bushes and things that were around the property. That tells you how well that property's been established and the ground and whatnot. So I then looked at the other lot, and come to find out, the other lot had a double wide mobile home on it that had literally just left a week before. So that lot just became available. And I'm going to show you the video. I walked the lot with the one of the staff members from the location, and you'll hear us talking about me pointing out things and talking about different things. So check this out. Hold on a second. Let me get this keyed up for you. Okay, does this lot have a specific lot number?
Yeah, so this one is, you have the map?
Oh, the map's in the car.
This one is 101 Doe Drive.
Okay.
So
this is like a car pad. Yeah, this is I think this is definitely a car pad, because I'm looking at over there and I'm looking at here.
Yeah.
So this is a car pad that goes up to like a nice little patio area for sitting. Okay. And then the big lot here, somebody had all these plants in the front.
Yeah.
Now there won't be a tongue on my house. Once it's delivered, the tongue is removed.
Okay.
So there won't be a tongue sticking out on the house. It's not a mobile home. All right, so it goes all the way over here to this side. And it includes these 2 big trees. All right, and it runs down to where I'm parked. Okay. Yeah, you can see where somebody was digging out.
Yeah, some of the neighbors, when they left,
Uh-huh.
the lady that lived here wanted one of the neighbors to have the plants, so she came and dug some out.
Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, that's just cleanup stuff,
Yeah.
This is minor, this is cleanup stuff, and I'm very much a gardener.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is good space here. Now we've got, I'm looking for utilities here. So we've got electric,
And
sewer. I don't see the cable wire on this site.
Right.
Oh, there it is. Okay. There's the cable wire. Oh my goodness, my old bones. Yeah, somebody cut it instead of disconnecting it. They actually cut the end of it.
You know what happens a lot? We've learned this with the RVs, is they forget to disconnect it and they just drive off.
They just drive off. Yeah, I know. And then you've got your trap for clean out there. Okay, that's your sewer trap. This tree with the wood house, that's part of this lot?
Yes.
So how far back would this lot go?
To be honest, it will be up to your discretion and your neighbor's discretion. question because there's not like a straight proper line.
Okay.
Because no one has like a fence.
Right.
But I mean.
But for me to put up a fence,
Yeah.
I wouldn't want, I would want to kind of like split the difference, like right about here.
I would say that would be about fair because you have that tree that's marking over there.
Right. And use that tree as a center point and come across and say, so right about here,
Absolutely.
which means I could run a fence off the back of the house from here over and this way and up to the side of the patio and have my vegetable garden, space for Levi, and a fence that wouldn't offend anybody, and still have room to pop a little shed over at the end or somewhere.
Yeah, you could have a nice chair over there in that concrete patio in the
A little setup, a little fire pit. Yeah, a little fire pit. Yeah, I think I like this lot actually better than that one.
I think it's more spacious.
It's more spacious.
Open.
It's more level.
You're gonna have a
it's
lot more
still
yard.
Got good trees to it. It's not facing the highway.
Yeah.
I could have it face the front, face the neighbors, which would be fine. So it would keep the noise on the side of the house. Yeah, I think I like this lot.
And it's
the best. So all the lots are the same. They're all $375.
Yes.
Okay. What do you think? So that's the lot I've chosen. It is huge. You could put 2 of my tiny homes on that lot. And in speaking with the staff members from the site, I can put a nice, oh yes, Mr. Levi, I can put up a really nice split rail fencing around part of the property for Levi, so he has a place to run and play, but yet be confined to my site. It has a car pad. I can put up a carport or a portico to cover my car, because as you saw on the car pad, it's full of pine needles. And the last thing I want is all that sap and everything eating away the finish on my car. So many other places around that site do have carports. And I will put something up that's very tasteful, that goes along with the house, that looks good, to protect the car. So I'll be able to do that. There is staff on site that will help me with stairs, or if I need to build a deck, or if I need to, when it comes time to install the skirting around the bottom of the tiny home. It's perfect. The direction it's going to face in will still give me perfect privacy. Yes, there's a highway that runs just down the side, but I did notice that when Levi and I were sitting inside my car with the windows closed and the sunroof closed, I couldn't hear the highway at all. So I know I won't hear the highway from inside my home as well. So that is the site that's going to be my new home. And I signed the papers for it. I gave them a deposit for it. And Levi was there, and yes, baby boy, he loved it. He was excited. He was sniffing around and checking it out and making it sure that it was going to be his place. And he got to meet the staff there. They got to meet him so that they could see that he's a good boy and he's a very chill and loving dog. One of the staff members there has a pit bull, a Blumiere, just like him, but a female and a few years younger than him. I think she said her dog was 8 or 9 years old. But they could be twins with their coloring and their markings and whatnot. They could be twins. So it's nice to find another pit bull lover who understands that these are very gentle, loving animals. So guys, that's what's been going on around the corner. So now I'm excited. I went on Temu and I started picking out things for the house. So I have whole bunch of different stuff coming that I'm going to need. Some things that you would never even imagine, but I'm very happy to say that yes, I will be making Alabama my home state, my home sweet home. It's going to be in Alabama, and I couldn't be happier about it. I love everything about the place I picked. I love everything about the people that are building my tiny home and my tiny home itself. The friends, yes, hello. The new friends that I'm here, the community that I'll be able to live in. The projects I already talked about that I'm going to be able to start at the community to get everybody involved where I live. Yeah, there's so much coming down the road. I can't wait to share everything with you. But for now, I think I've monopolized your time enough between the order and everything else that's going on. Yes, I will send Mom all your best wishes because I know you're all thinking about her and that you want me to send her your love and your thoughts and your prayers, and I am definitely going to do that. Um, Send a little along for me so I can keep my sanity during this process and I can kind of keep my calm and my cool during this process, which is not easy to do, but I'm going to do it because I love my mom and there isn't anything I wouldn't do for her. And that includes fight for what she needs, right? And I know you guys would too. So in the meantime, stay hydrated. I'm on coffee today. I might need a nap. Above all else, please stay sweet. If you like this, big thumbs up, share it so everybody else can see what's going on. If you're not yet subscribed to this channel, Mama would say, please do so now. And for those of you that have found me at buymeacoffee.com, I can't tell you how much I appreciate every little thing that you do to support this channel and to help me get the products for you guys, get the things for the tiny home, get the things that I need for my adventure. You're all part of my adventure when you do that. And I love you guys, seriously. So stay sweet, behave. You've got a new year coming again. And I will put up a community post to let you know how Mama is doing as soon as I find out anything. All right? Catch you soon with more Temu. Bye, guys.